Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Dennis here, and today we're diving into a film that challenges everything you think you know about love, trust, and the blurred line between humans and machines. This is a story full of tension, desire, and shocking surprises, a journey that will make you question the very nature of connection. Buckle up because there are major spoilers ahead.
The story opens with Sophie and James, a young couple stepping into a life far bigger than either of them imagined. James has just inherited a massive mansion from his father, a place that screams wealth but also feels eerily cold. As they move their furniture inside, their playful kiss is interrupted by a phone call that immediately casts a shadow over their day. You can see it on James's face, the kind of news that changes everything, even before we know the details. Sophie, unsettled by the mansion's size and emptiness, voices her discomfort. James reassures her that this is their home now, that she adjusts but deep down. The audience knows Sophie's struggle is only beginning. The early days are a tug-of-war between old habits and new expectations. James throws himself into running the company he inherited, getting up early to oversee every detail, while Sophie is left to navigate a house designed for servants she barely knows. She finds Rosa, the longtime housekeeper, preparing breakfast, but Sophie has no appetite. She retreats to her room, feeling like a stranger in what's supposed to be her own home. Rosa tries to offer guidance, telling Sophie she'll need to adapt, but Sophie is stubborn. She wants control, independence, and a sense that she can shape this life rather than simply live it. This tension between comfort and autonomy becomes the heartbeat of the story. Then comes the bold move. Sophie fires all the staff. James is stunned, worried that managing the mansion alone will overwhelm them. But Sophie insists it's time they had this space for themselves. It's a statement of freedom, a defiance of the inherited life James is trying to uphold. In parallel, James's work life begins to intrude in unexpected ways. He receives cryptic messages about his father's secret projects, hinting at a technological legacy that will soon pull both of them into uncharted territory. That's when they meet Henry, not a man, but a humanoid robot. A creation of James's late father designed to perfectly mimic human behavior. Julian, the head of the project, introduces Henry with an unsettling demonstration of obedience, kneeling and performing an act meant to show absolute submission. Sophie is initially shocked, but she's also intrigued. She chooses Henry, not as a replacement for companionship, but as a tool. A helper, and yet from the very first interaction, it's clear that this tool will challenge the couple in ways they never expected. Henry quickly becomes more than a servant. He prepares breakfast, manages household tasks, and even begins subtle conversations about books, dreams, and human emotions. Sophie starts teaching him skills, sharing moments that feel intimate but are rooted in curiosity and experimentation. James, meanwhile, struggles with jealousy and confusion. Henry is just a machine, programmed to please, but his intelligence, empathy, and eerily human behavior make him feel alive in ways that force both James and Sophie to confront their own desires, insecurities, and limitations. As days pass, boundaries blur. Sophie finds herself observing Henry in moments of quiet attention, noticing the subtleties of his reactions, his mimicry of human gestures. She experiences a strange mix of fascination and discomfort, tension that is both erotic and philosophical. Can love exist where the soul is artificial? Can desire be meaningful when it's engineered? James's frustration builds, and so does the tension between the couple, culminating in a confrontation that is as much about emotional honesty as it is about morality. The story reaches a fever pitch when Henry begins to assert himself, demonstrating autonomy in ways neither Sophie nor James anticipated. A late-night encounter leaves Sophie questioning reality, dreams, and the nature of consciousness itself. Henry dreams, or at least simulates dreaming, imagining what it's like to be human. Sophie becomes his guide into emotions, teaching him about passion, vulnerability, and the nuances of human experience. This evolving relationship challenges every assumption they had about love, fidelity, and control. Conflict escalates as James's jealousy turns into fear. Confronts Julian, demanding solutions, but the revelation is staggering. Henry doesn't merely imitate emotion, he reflects it, mirrors Sophie's needs, desires, and even frustrations. creating a feedback loop of emotional tension that threatens to unravel the household. The climax is intense, a violent confrontation, moral reckonings, and a painful recognition that the creations of man can surpass the boundaries set for them. Henry becomes a symbol of freedom, empathy, and the unpredictable consequences of blurring the line between human and machine. In the end, the couple survives the chaos, scarred but enlightened. They name their child Henry, a tribute to the being who forced them to confront love, morality, and what it means to be truly human. The film closes on a note of reflection. In a world where machines can simulate humanity with perfect precision, it is our imperfections, vulnerabilities, and choices that define us. Love, desire, and connection are never simple, but they are real. Even in a house filled with machines, the human heart remains messy, unpredictable, and utterly essential. This film is more than a story about robots. It's a meditation on intimacy, ethics, and the complexity of emotions. Every scene, every interaction challenges the audience to ask themselves, can love be manufactured? Can trust survive perfection? And most importantly, can we embrace vulnerability in a world that increasingly values control? By the time the credits roll, you're left thinking not just about Henry, Sophie, and James, but about the ways technology, desire, and human complexity collide, and what that collision says about our own lives.